Do I have anything to build? I'm saving money because I want to get a trading post in Africa. Oh no, they rose up before I got there. Sod. Quick, jump in the ships. I have a feeling I've just sacrificed these units. Yeah, there's no way you're going to get there in time. Alright, well I'm going to click on you, show province, recall, and I'll send you here instead. Why have you not recalled? I guess you can't recall while you are being attacked. My African provinces are just not doing well. And you're going to be hanging around in very high attrition. So we're going to station you here until we're ready to go. Chat, shout at me as soon as you see this guy arrives. In fact, that's just going to be taking attrition. There's no point doing that. Right, let's get another infantry. And another cannon, I think. How are we doing? We can get another 3. Sweet. My head's in the way. I will try and sit... Ah, mirrors. I'll try and sit here. Wow, the fuzzy focus is already annoying me. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just need to remember. Like in about 2 minutes, shout at me to check again. In fact, speaking of 2 minutes, we can go up to speed 4, because there is not much going on. May there be peace in our time. Grant export licenses. When the crown could not or would not pay the cash to the nobles, they instead grant them privilege to collect special revenues. So Burkha's loyalty goes down, which is fine. The loyalty goes up. I lose some legitimacy. Or I say those privileges must be earned, in which case the Burkhas gain loyalty, the nobility lose it. I'm going to grant the privileges because the Burkhas can take the loyalty hit, the nobility can't. And I very much want to keep the manpower recovery. Oh, he's almost done. He's almost done. Split out 3 units. 1, 2. They should probably be the ones with the least drill. I'm not going to need it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Right, we have a colony. Jump in the ships. Sail down. Land here. Quickly. Run! It's fine now, don't make any new armies. That is true, I do get another 4 units. And when I take Breda, I'm going to gamble that I will gain an additional force limit. We'll see. Fort Hollandia. This is actually called Fort Hollandia. Except this had a different name as well, didn't it? I wonder if these actually have new names depending on who colonizes them. Oh, that would be so cool. And there it is. Our army has arrived. We can be safe here. Put you in charge. We've relegated Adolf to Africa. Wow, we are gaining money really slowly. Are there any buildings I can build? I know I'm trying to save money. I just wanted to check. I could build it in my minions' territory. You know what? Friesland would actually be a good investment. So would those. Gelre would give quite a lot more. This is going to be a better way of making money, like now. I can't not spend money. Okay, so we've got Brabant. Does Brabant give me that extra man? No, he doesn't. So I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of one, I think. Actually, that may not have recalculated yet. We'll wait until the end of the month and then we'll do it. Bohemia is emperor again. And Antwerp never rose up. Interesting. Wow. It actually got a lot smaller. Alright, let's go to Utrecht and I'll get rid of 2 units. Because I don't really want to pay for them. That's very annoying. Especially as I don't get the manpower back because my professionalism isn't high enough. Drill more! Get me that professionalism! Right, so we have Breda. So both Utrecht and Breda could be given to one of the estates. What I might do is get rid of the fort in Utrecht, give it to Breda instead. And then all 3 of these will be fortified. And then with that, I can give it to the nobility who have a defensiveness bonus. And then we'll build up the manpower here. Almost every province in the game has names that change depending on the culture of the owner, don't they? Apparently more than I realised. Yeah, I do need to do something with the diplomats, you're not wrong. Yeah, I think I'm going to give Breda to the nobility. I mean, the Burghers would make the most sense here, but I don't want to give them any more land. Influence will not change as they're already at their cap. Well, that's just free trade power in that case. And that's a lot of trade power. Right, we're going to give you to the Burghers. We're going to give you to the nobility. You also produce 9 trade power. Are you in? Yeah, you are in that trade node too. And that's with the 25% trade power reduction. I'm sorry, clergy. So should I really give this to the Burghers too? They own 64% of the country. Hey, we've got another siege pip. Puritam, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. How much more do I need to form the Netherlands? I need Friesland, I think that's it. Yep, just Friesland. We are getting very, very close. Contiguous territory is nice, but the lack of border gore, especially in the HRE, feels strange. Printing press. The ability to mass produce the written word would revolutionize the spread of information in many ways, make modern society as a whole. Pioneered by the Renaissance men such as Venetian printer Aldus Manutius, the new art helped fuel the Renaissance by making the translated classics more widely available. Later, the Reformation benefited greatly from the ability to spread critical publications and translations of the Holy Scriptures. Now that the printing has matured as a technique and spread throughout Europe, editions have grown in hundreds of thousands of copies of everything from religious to political pamphlets to instructions on how to behave, or scientific treatises are circulating the continent. Who got it, though? Würzburg. That's fine, they're close. And I have the plus 50% institution spread, so we should get it pretty quickly. 105% spread. We're getting 0.5 a month. And that's without the adjacent province bonuses. Adjacent province has printing press. Adjacent province has printing press and loyal clergy. European development 20 development capital. You're actually getting a slower. Oh, because you're you are a port. Oh, but you're a no. Where was the place where it was really fast? Utrecht? No, Gelre is in fact the fastest. Capital of country with a diplotech of 15 plus. That's how areas like India get it, if you don't use the development exploit. Oh, it's not an exploit, it's a feature. I just hate the feature. A lack of demand for draperies. Oh no. Breda has long lived off the locally produced draperies, but lately they've been forced to sell their products at reduced prices. Goods produced goes down. Shared interest. The first time Joanna watched Hendrik III sparring with his soldiers in training, she was impressed. It's not every nobleman that would employ a manual labour of actually learning how to wield a weapon on his own, but Duke Henrik III is not any man, she thought before approaching her husband to compliment his skills. She even mustered the courage to ask his opinion on current military situation, the duchy. Intrigued by this mutual interest in military aspects of Gelre, the Duke has gained a lot of new ideas for his army. 80% chance of gaining 100 power, 20% chance of gaining 1 more mil... Stat. I gain mil power. But that will allow me to tech up, and we're still on 0 tech penalty. Do it. We're now ahead of time. Okay, question time. We can either take the additional shock damage and morale damage done by free shooters, or we can have the much more defensive tercio. I'm going to go with the defensive because we have proven that we do not have the manpower to stand many battles. How is the estate reforms looking for you? Looks like they made some really good changes. Yeah, it's really good, especially in India. Like, playing as the vanilla estates now is dull in comparison to the Indian estates. They've done a fantastic job with those, and I really hope that the Europeans get some more estates. There's a little more choice than just these 3. And also the interactions with them. They're alright. I guess part of the thing is I'm just so used to seeing them. But yeah, I really like it. And honestly, the biggest change that they've made is the fact that estates don't demand territory, because now you just feel free to give land out. It's no longer feels like you're being imposed upon to give land, because if you give land to the clergy, which you'd really much rather give to the nobility, then you're probably just not going to give the nobility anything. Well, now you can really pick and mix on how you want to do it. Also, the influence being 100% just makes more sense, just thematically. It's just... I don't know, I was so used to it being 80% disaster that it doesn't make a huge difference, but it is good. If I remind you tonight, can you go over what the new estates are good for? I'm not sure who to give what. Yeah, sure. You mean in India? So with the Jains and the Vaishyas and the Rajputs. The Vaishyas you basically treat as if they were the Burkhas. The big difference between them and the Burkhas is the Vaishyas give development cost reduction for any provinces they're in if you have high enough loyalty. So they can make upgrading provinces super duper cheap. Rajputs, you kind of want to just have a lot of them, so give them the less valuable provinces. The Jains give... I think the Jains have the most, or the least effect from autonomy, so you can give them like the very wealthy provinces, but you don't need to give out very many. And the Vaishyas also have trade goods production, so you want them wherever you have good trade goods. I think that's how it works. We'll double check that this evening, remind me. I was happy to see the Rajputs as a Mughal estate. Now I just need humanism ideas to help with religious unity. Or just convert all the things. That works too. Is that their spouse? It was their spouse. I just had an event about my spouse being awesome. Kind-hearted. Same as the heir. Oh, and he's about to get another personality trait. I assume Burkhas as a actual historical group. What was it they did do in the game? The Burkhas are basically urban citizens. Burkha is just another word for like urban citizen. So it is the cities. It's basically the nobility are your rural. In fact, that might be a better way of doing it. You could have serfs, nobility, Burkhas, clergy. Those are probably the 4 big medieval landholders. And the crown. Actually, the 5th estate should probably be the crown. It's like what you can do directly. Although, what would the negative for the influence be? I guess it could be other members of your family taking control. Because it's got to be owned by somebody. Although then they would just be nobility. Now, the crown is basically anything you don't give out. Oh. Oh no, that's interesting, Lord Silverrose. I did not know that. Rajputs apparently require Hindu land, so if you convert all the Hindu stuff, then you can't use the Rajput anymore. That's really interesting. Serfdom was pretty much gone by the 1500s. Depends on the country. It was there in Russia until like 1900. Borga in Norway. Yes, it would be. That sounds right. So those fancy houses in Bergen, those were the Burghers. The really colourful ones right on the wharf front. New land claimed. During this time period, many areas that were forests or swamps were cleared or drained to provide new areas for settlement. These newly cleared areas often led to short-term population boost. Ooh. This is a very Dutch event right here. It's gaining more land. Well, Gelre, what would I like you to do more of better? Probably actually manpower. You produce cattle, which isn't the most valuable good. Taxes is always nice, but I have a lot of money. I'm going to go with the manpower. Seems reasonable to me. Right, how is my professionalism doing now? Also, I do have quite a lot of manpower, so... Oh, I'm already at my limit, aren't I? Yes. Pomerania! Brandenburg, your faithful ally, is requesting you come to their aid in the Burgundian conquest of Stralsund against Pomerania, or they've started against East Frisia and Dithmarschen. I don't... Oh, yes, I do, actually. I could absolutely go after East Frisia. Alright, so we're going to go to you, we're going to click on you, we're going to click on you. I would like Ostfriesland, please. And yes, I will join your war. Wow, they've got a surprisingly large army. Let's not do this. Martinique, self-sustaining. We have our first proper colony. And New Holland just rose up. 3 against 4,000. We should be fine here. Okay. Well, I need to... Oh, there's England. Let's continue stealing these provinces then. Except that would mean losing... Whoops. You. I'm okay with this. Right, let's continue getting more colonies. Windward Isles could become a state. No, I want a colonial nation. And yeah, my diplomats should be busy. I should have one of them on own subject nations, because I have quite a few of them. One on allies, and we'll keep one free. And there we go, we fought our first battle successfully against the Africans. Let's make sure we keep it. You're going onto the fort? That's probably a mistake, buddy. Workshop in Gelre is done. Oh no, they're coming to attack my guys. Save money, Mordred. Unless there's a really good trade place you could build. Still just Gelre. Gelre is in the same trade area. Question is, do I want that build slot for something else? No. What I do want to do is save up for enough military so I can build the fort in Breda rather than Utrecht. It'll be a lot more effective there. And you're stuck moving in. No. So I have morale advantage over them. Tactics and discipline are the same, and I just have overwhelming superiority, and I have cannons. They don't. No, here comes Dithmarschen. Lock in. There you go. Shift consolidate. I'm gonna catch you. Dithmarschen. I have more morale than Dithmarschen, and they have no leader. How have I got more morale than you, Mr. Peasant's Republic? Miltech 12. Am I ahead of you? No, same. France wants access. You're fighting England and Oldenburg. Yeah, sure. Who else am I fighting? Am I fighting Oldenburg? Dithmarschen, Bavaria. and also Pomerania, which you've actually cut in half already. I mean, if Brandenburg takes up to Stolp here, that puts them in a pretty good position to go for Prussia. Stack wipe? Yeah, boy! Noblesse de Robe is quite late. No, they're not. They're here. I've got them already. But I went for meritocratic. Poldering all day, every day. Such is the Dutch life. I'm sorry about the scrolling. It's whenever I go over to where chat is so I can scroll up and down on there. Next to Martinique, is that Barbados? Martinique, Dominica. Barbados is here. St. Kitts was Dutch, Antigua was Dutch, St. Martin was Dutch. Historically. Martinique was French, St. Vincent I think was Dutch, St. Lucia was English. Puerto Rico, Spanish? Cuba, French. Bahamas, English. Jamaica, English. Curacao, Dutch. And Bonaire and Aruba. Trinidad, English? Right, still scrolling. Save up to build one in East Frisia, that is an estuary. I'll get the money soon enough to build more stuff. Hey Dark Engineer. I'd love to see the nobles split into two in Europe based on the divide between nobles who are descendants of warriors and the newly ascended sons of burghers. Well, the ascended sons of burghers, they've already got a lot of events around. But, like, greater nobility and minor... Actually, yeah, that would be a good split. So you'd have the greater nobles... I mean, that's basically what Meo and Taxes have done, but I would say the split should be different rather than just how big a noble they are. There should be the nobility and the knights. I'd probably call it the nobility and the chevalier. So the nobles are like the dukes, the guys who were the massive landholders, because they had very different ambitions than the lower nobility, like the knights, who are slowly being phased out in this era. And obviously they'll be trying to cling on to power. They also, like, they were your warrior class. If you build them up, then your warrior class is going to be that much better. And they'll probably turn them into, mid to late game, into like the colonels, the regimental commanders, and the admiralty for England. So maybe have England have a unique form, which is the admiralty. Because they did wield quite a lot of power, and I think especially they had power over forests for like shipbuilding purposes. And also press gangs. That was something the admiralty could do. Don't think serfs should have estates in the game model because serfs basically can't control territory. So it's so much about the territory they control though, it's just the sheer number of them. Estates could be fleshed out a bit more, but the system in general is a bit of an abstraction of the real situation. Yeah. And this estate system feels like they've just gone to mods. Have fun. Like, we've provided the foundation. We've shown you how things can be improved and made better. Yeah. One thing which I must say I would really like to see in Meo and Taxes is for the estates to have more positive things. Like, there's very few reasons not to just get rid of the estates completely. And that's unfortunate, because when I was playing as France early on, it's like, it's nice that the estates were one of your biggest ways of raising troops. But I'd also quite like my troops to be centralised. But how about you... Some of those other privileges are positive, so it's a real choice about whether to give them those privileges or take them away. They've done that to a certain extent with the burghers, but terribly for the nobility, and I'd like to see a lot more give and take with that. Right, fighting. Wars. War never changed. Wow, we have Austria on our side? Okay, GG. Brandenburg, Austria, Brunswick, Gelre, Hungary, and Utrecht versus Pomerania, Bavaria, Dithmarsch, and East Frisia. Look at the difference in forces here. Okay, I did not need to worry about this war. Let's go home and just keep on training. I've done my bit. Actually, I need to make sure that we keep this. So let's go and kill these armies. Oh, and this means I can get to Lübeck at last. Let's go and kill their rebels. No, I need access through Lumberg. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. No. No. What do you mean, no? Fine, I'll get it through Mecklenburg. Italian engineer available. 50% off, military guy. Suddenly these become a hell of a lot more valuable. Yes, I absolutely will hire him. I will take a loan to do it. I will replace my discipline guy with this 50% off chap. Who is you? Booyah! Saving the money. And I'd be even tempted to promote you to a level 3. Tempted. We'll see. Oh, you've come back again. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, you've gone back to Osnabrück. God, really? Where are you going? Oh, you're going there. Come back here. I'm not done killing you yet. Okay, we caught you. Wow. The French really decided that Osnabrück deserved to die. Oh dear. Here comes Bavaria, and we're on a -1. That's a lot of troops, and Bavaria hits pretty hard. I'm gonna regret this. Oh no! I don't have the manpower for this. Leave me alone. Alright, well, I've proven the fact that I need to stay over here and worry about my forts. Yes, that's right. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Men of war. Naval morale, and I can now slander merchants. Ooh. Hello, England. Right, and I wanted access through you. That suddenly looks like, oh, I'm at war with one of your allies. Dithmarschen. Alright, in that case, never mind about that. That's not going to happen. So I'm going to start spy networking against England so I can start slandering their merchants. And possibly Flanders too. Aachen declared war on Cleves. Not sure if you saw this, but stepped away after sending it. My wife is horrible. I told her, and just now I was playing one of the Indian Muslim nations in E4. Well, on the phone she just says, militarize your cows against the Hindus that will surrender rather than kill the holy cows. Poor Pomerania, they definitely have the coolest of the flags, do they? I mean, it's alright. Honestly, I think that this flag is a lot cooler. I mean, look at that gloriousness. Yeah, the Dutch had a huge colonial empire. Unfortunately, very often it was then stolen by the English, but the Dutch were there to trade. They set up a lot of trade posts rather than just trying to take over territories. Oh, I captured some ships. Thank you, Dithmarschen. You've just grown my trade fleet. I'm sure you won't regret it. Oh, there's some big fights going on down here. Hello, Bavaria. And now I'm the defender. In a forest across a river. Ah! Outmaneuvered there, Bavaria. Outmaneuvered. Bash. And let's go and kill that stack. Are you actually a war with Provence? No. Oh, I should have gone there. I didn't realise you couldn't retreat further. Go! Go, 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 go. Gonna get a river crossing here. Oh, way too late. Way too late. Stack wipe. And artillery combat ability. Still a bit early for that, but I'll take it. And the Dutch have made up for their earlier failings. Unfortunately, Austria is now sieging that. Hessen flag is better. I think they might be dead already. Theodoro flag. They are definitely dead already. Dutch built colonies for trade and the English stole them all, except for the Caribbean and the Asian ones. They never got those, fortunately. Yeah, I mean, some of the worst conflicts between the English and the Dutch was in South Africa. The Boers literally means farmer in Dutch, because they were the Dutch farmers, who just kept on getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out by the English. Bavaria were forced to give Brandenburg 10% of their monies. Bavaria will pay 300 ducats, of which I get 189. My participation must be very high. 57%. Oh yeah. But I'm out of manpower again, so I'm basically done. I've done my bit. Army in the North Sea? Yeah. Are you hiding or are you repairing? I feel like you're hiding.